What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Storytime with Shari. Happy Monday. How are you guys? If you're watching me live right now, put live. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Tell me anything that you want to tell me. Listen, I don't know about you, but it feels like Groundhog's Day around these parts. So, anything new and exciting that you want to share with me to help lift my day and to get me out of this cycle, I'd love to know about it right now. Hey Mark, nice to see you. How you doing over there in New York? Good morning, Chrissy. What is Australia like right now? I love y'all. So for those of you who are brand new to Storytime with Shari, we read every story time. We also have a topic of the day. We got Ollie the owl right there who just watches over us, often criticizes me, but that's why I keep him in the back of the room and I got somebody throwing tomatoes at him. But I am Shari Alyse. I am a global speaker. I am also the author of the best-selling book, Love Yourself Happy, and I am a self-love and joy coach. And I love connecting with you guys. With everything that happens, not just in the world and not just with the pandemic and not just with all of that, but just our daily lives and the challenges and the ups, the downs, the triumphs, the triggers, the craziness that just happens just being a human being. I'm always super grateful to be able to share my insights and the things that I have learned over the years and the work that I do with my clients, both one-on-one and on with audiences at events, because my mission is your happiness. Hey, Lori, thanks. Oh, you're sweet. Nice to see you. Good morning, Catherine. Ollie, Catherine says hi to you. I don't usually tell them those things because, we don't. But let me invite you to go grab your favorite cup of anything. As always, and all my regulars know, I don't judge what you got in your glass, as I hope that you don't judge what I have in mine. So, bottoms up. First, I want to know wherever you are right now, what time is it by you? So, if you could put in the comments the local time by you, and keep that in mind because we're going to talk about that a little later. Because today I'm going to share with you, after we do some reading, three words that you need. And yes, I'm saying the word need, that you need to include every single day in your vocabulary. Because when you do that, your life will be more connected, happier, and more fulfilling. But it's important to note the time right now because I'm going to ask you a question towards the end, and I want to know. We're going to connect that with the time. So I know I'm being all mysterious here. So today we're going to continue reading from the book Heart Minded: How to Hold Yourself and Others in Love. And this book is all about clearing the path back to your heart. So many of us are disconnected from our hearts. I'm just getting myself comfy here. So many of us are disconnected from our hearts because it often triggers some aspect of ourself that we have not yet healed. And so we run. And how do we run? We run by numbing ourselves. It could be through food. It could be through just being over busy. It could be through achieving. It could be from just complete denial of anything and always looking towards something to go towards, somebody to be with, some activity to take part of, so that we don't slow down enough and feel what is inside. And it is so very important for all of us to feel what is inside because that is your internal guidance system. And your internal guidance system never, ever, ever steers you wrong. Except maybe having told you to come watch this today. I'm kidding. Okay, Lori, it is 8:03 by you, which I know is 8:03 by me. Chrissy says, Victoria and Melbourne are in a very devastating situation right now. I know. I understand. We're over here in the US with the same thing. Um, San Diego, 8:07, 1:07 in the morning. Chrissy, you're always up late. All right, so we're going to come back to those times later because there's an important thing that I need you to note right now at this time, and we'll address that later. So we're going to dive into the book. I want to invite you first because I want to center us, because it's important that we're not thinking about the devastation in the world. It's important that we're not focused on what other things we have to do. What time is it? Where do I have to be? Who's saying what? This is it. Right now, for some reason, you happen to choose to be here with me, but most importantly, you have chosen to be here with yourself. This is a gift for you, and the gift is slowing down. The gift is presence. The gift is you being here for yourself in this moment. So I invite you to close your eyes. This is one of the practices that I do daily, and I'm actually going to be sharing this in a class that I'm doing upcoming. I hope that you've signed up for it. I made it crazy affordable for everybody right now. I'm offering things in the class that I generally keep for my programs, which cost thousands of dollars. So I'm offering all that to you for $19. So definitely sign up. But this is one of the practices that I do daily. And if you've been here long enough with me, then you know that this is what we do. So I invite you to close your eyes, put your hand or hands on your heart. Take a deep breath in through your nose, a slow one. Hold it at the top for a few seconds. And on the exhale, slowly through your mouth, I just want you to let go of whatever you are holding onto your body that doesn't feel good. Let go and release whatever tension, whatever things you're thinking about, and just let your body sit and relax. There is no right or wrong way to do this. There's just about gifting yourself this present moment. So take another deep breath in through your nose. Hold that for a few seconds, and then exhale through your mouth. Again, there is no right or wrong. There's no state that you have to be in. We're just gifting ourselves this state of presence. And the reason why I have your hand on your heart is because there's a miracle that is beating under your hand. It's a gift that you get every single day while you're still alive. And so this opportunity to be grateful for it, that no matter what seems to be going on in the outside world, and even if you're challenged on the inside world, your heart is always beating, which reminds you of your aliveness, which reminds you of your beauty and your love and your light. So let's take one more deep breath in. Hold that at the top, and on the exhale, I just want you to envision peace going through your entire body from your tippy toes to the top of your head, and let go. All right, I invite you, when you're ready, to open your eyes back up and come back here with me. Hi. Hello, everybody that's first joining. Good morning, Curtis. Hello, Donna. Oh, thanks, Donna. I appreciate it. We've got another wig on. I'm so calm right now. I just like, all right, guys, bye, peace. Talk to y'all later. So yeah, I just wanted to center us here because right now, right here is all that is important. And look at me in the eyes. Can you see my eyes, guys, clearly? Am I clear? I love you. I love you. You are loved. You are loved. You are so loved. All right, so let's dive into this. Good morning, Pravesh. Let me know where you are right now and what the local time is by you, because after we're done reading part of this chapter, we're going to dive into today's topic, which I'm going to share with you 3 words that you need to say every single day that will create a happier life for you, a more connected and a more fulfilling life. Hey, Cassandra, nice to see you. So, you're sweet. So we're reading today from Heart Minded, and right now it is time for super smart girl. Oh my God, she's so smart. I know. How does she do it? She just puts glasses on and thinks she's smart. Well, I'm gonna try that too. All right. This is why my acting career didn't work out, because my little shticks sometimes are good and sometimes bombs. We're on chapter 7, and the title of this chapter is Give Name. And this author, Sarah Blondin, she's absolutely one of my favorites. She's actually a meditation teacher, a spiritual teacher, and she just published this book in the last few months, and I'm so connected to it, and so I just want to read it to you. Thank you, Chrissy, for my Super Smart Girl theme song. People often say that they don't know what they feel. They can't identify their feelings in the moment that they're happening and have no vocabulary for what they're going through. Just as our sensitivities have very little nurturing, we have almost no language to use when we need it most. It's essential that we work at naming what we're experiencing, because the more we learn to identify the constricting feelings in our bodies, the better equipped we are to catch pain before it attaches to us too deeply. Mm. In identifying it, we grow awareness. And in awareness, we are able to choose freedom. That's why we're going to spend some time now taking a deep dive into the practice of naming our uncomfortable feelings as they come. Do we not each have a long, let me read that again. Do we not each long to have a name? Do we not each want to be seen, heard, honored, and loved? Do we not each want at least the chance to be exonerated from the place of darkness and shadow? We all know these places of storm within us: uncomfortable restlessness in the body, addictive behaviors like overwork, overeating, drinking, shopping, judgment, and gossip, too much screen time, an internal discourse of abuse and criticism, and fits of panic and fear. Our pain is disguised in these habits. The behaviors are not the problem. They are our attempt at creating a solution for a feeling that we don't know how to hold and how to address. When suffering or escaping from our suffering by getting caught up in any of the habits listed above, we are ignoring the call for healing. These unhealthy and uncomfortable tendencies will begin to choke your life, and their grasp will not loosen until what has been veiled is unveiled, released, cried out, and spoken out loud. Painful feelings and memories arise not to dig themselves deeper into you, but to wedge themselves loose. They are asking for their emancipation. So remember that each time discomfort visits, it's really asking, are you ready to speak, to name, and to honor this part of you? Are you ready to hold and love yourself and so be restored? There is no right or wrong way to approach your feelings. When hard emotions or memories surface, begin by opening the door and paying attention. Feelings disguise themselves as heat in the body, a quickening of the heart, a shortness of breath, a turning in the stomach, or at times a constricting sensation in the throat. Our job when these things arise is to notice and to touch these places with thoughtfulness. Be curious, concerned, caring, and nurturing, but most importantly, lean in and feel them. If you can, try to name what is hidden within the sensation. Is it rage? Disappointment? You can even express entire sentences like, no one hears me, or I'm feeling lost and confused, empty, inflexible, scared. Again, there is no right way to becoming intimate with your feelings. What is most important is simply to practice talking to and looking into the heat of your experience, not away. One thing I know for sure is we relive until we are set free. I'm going to say that again. And how many of you just really quickly have repeated the same experiences over and over and over again, sometimes disguised as different people, sometimes disguised as a completely different experience, but the lesson that keeps being brought up is the same one. It's because we're not healing them. This is the work that I teach. So funny. I'll talk about this afterwards because, I'll go off on another tangent. So one thing I know for sure, we relive until we are set free. We relive until we are loved back to wholeness. We're not meant to hold on to fear and pain. In the beginning, we are free in love, and in the end, we will return to that love. The in-between, however, that is our choosing. Once again, I remind you that it is in turning toward the knot, the fire, the bleeding that we begin to empty ourselves of lingering soreness. I know I'm being invited to heal something hurting within me when I find myself trying to escape through a daydream. If things have been especially challenging with my two little ones, for instance, when I have been quick to anger, I often fall into a deep rut of shame around my unloving behavior. Then, instead of tending to my shame with love, I escape into the unhealthy habit of wishing or dreaming for something different. I will start fantasizing about a life without children, which then morphs into a painful regret of having children And then before you know it, I am neck deep in an awful place of wishing for a different, better life where none of this agony exists. I do all of this to avoid admitting to painful actions and feelings. I create an entirely alternate universe with the hope of evading my own heart and soreness, and this only creates more pain and distress. The very moment that I inflict hurt and swirl into angry contempt, life hands me an invitation, which I ignore by neglecting my body's cries to regain harmony. The pain then deepens and lodges. My body replies with all sorts of uncomfortable feelings to signal my disconnect from the heart. And then I am dragged down into the shadow world of myself, where I sit in the dark until I remember to speak each feeling brewing within me. If I accept the summons of spirit and healing by going to a quiet room to sit down, slow my body and breath, place my hands over my heart, and let the feelings trapped inside of me come and be named, I recover and I heal. I'm going to read that sentence again. If I accept the summons of spirit and healing by going to a quiet room to sit down, to slow my body and breath, to place my hands over my heart, and then let the feelings trapped inside me come and be named, I recover and heal. So I'm going to stop there from today's reading from Heart Minded by Sarah Blondin. And you know what I find so interesting is that I do not read this chapter because I'm actually reading this book along with you guys. So I don't read the chapter before I come up with my topic of the day, before I share with you anything. So just the fact that we are so in alignment with what I want to share with you today, where what I just talked before we even started reading about the ways that we distract and we numb and we deflect from what we're feeling, and then the spiral that takes us on, all just means that the message today for you has been so downloaded, and your reason your reason and presence here is divinely inspired. Okay, so I need to go to the comments right now. I need to heal, and you keep reliving the pain. Athens says, hey Chris, nice to see you. Chrissy says she relives her pain every single day. So the message that we're getting here then is, in what ways can you honor that pain? In what ways can you speak to that pain? In what ways can you sit with it? Can you show up with it? Can you nurture it? Can you love it? When we have friendships in our lives, or deep relationships, romantic relationships, whenever we begin to trust somebody, usually trust comes with consistency. Trust comes with familiarity. Trust comes with spending time with that person. It's not something that you just meet somebody and all of a sudden you trust them. And so how do we expect to have this relationship with ourselves when we're not sitting with those feelings, when we're not naming them, when we're not honoring them? So when we consistently turn away from what it is that we're feeling, we consistently then don't show up for ourselves in the ways that we're being asked to. And then we end up in places in our lives that don't feel like who we are. We end up in careers that don't seem like us. We end up in relationships that don't feel fulfilling or part of who we are. We end up in bodies that are sick and ailing because we have betrayed that part of ourselves, because we haven't spent that time with ourselves. And so, in what ways can you honor what's happening within you? I think one of the things that we've learned along the way is that we have to show up in a certain way. Like, everybody has to be happy. You have to stay positive. You can't be in pain. You can't be upset. You can't be fearful. Be fearless. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. And so what we've done is that we've put all of these positive emotions on this pedestal. And anytime that we don't feel this, we shame and beat ourselves up for feeling something else. What if we just allowed ourselves to feel? What if the whole point of being a human being is to live the whole entire spectrum of emotions? How would we show up then differently for those moments? Maybe we wouldn't beat ourselves up over it. Maybe those harsher, harder, more challenging feelings we would actually walk through just a little bit quicker. Hey Joyce, good to see you. So today's topic I am sharing with all of you guys is something that I believe that we need to do every single day say these 3 words. I asked you earlier to let me know what time it is by you. And for some of you, it's the middle of the night. For some of you, it's first thing in the morning, and you might be off the hook just a little bit. Some of you might be late morning or the afternoon. So, my question for you is, at this time of day, and be honest, I want you to share with me in the comments, how many loving things, supportive, encouraging things have you said to yourself today? It could be 1, it could be 5, it could be none. There is no right or wrong. It's just an awareness that I'm asking you to look within. It's something that so many of us don't often do. We can find ourselves criticizing, why didn't you do that? Or, oh, why did you eat that? How did you gain that pound? Oh my God, you didn't make that email. Oh, I'm so tired. Why are you so tired? You're so lazy. There seems to be this ongoing critical conversation that we have with ourselves. And when we don't have these loving conversations with ourselves, when we don't say these 3 words every single day to ourselves, then how do we expect and want to spend time with ourselves? Why would you want to be with anybody that criticizes you, that doesn't support you, that in a way bullies you? So Joyce says not 1, Athen none, Pravesh 1. Good. And good for noticing. Again, there is no right or wrong. There is just the acknowledgement and the awareness of it. And so I want to share with you that every single day, no matter how badly I feel, no matter how tired I feel, no matter how much I'm deflated, I come up to my mirror, whether I'm brushing my teeth, but it's always at the start of the day. And I take a good look at myself in the eyes. I make eye contact, literally. I look in my pupils and I take a good look and I say, I love you. And sometimes in that moment, I cry. Other times I smile. Other times I, other times I get sad. But I always make sure that I have that connection with myself, because if we're not showing up for ourselves and being loving and having that intimate relationship with ourselves, then how can we expect ourselves to show up for us in other ways? Then you wonder why we have those relationships with ourselves, why we end up in situations that don't always feel good, because we are not taking good care of ourselves. And so I want to encourage you from this moment forward that in whatever way you can, whether it's I love you, whether it's I'm so proud of you, you're doing a great job, just make a daily promise to yourself to say one thing, a minimum of one thing every day that is supportive of you. You want to make this conversation with yourself so familiar, so consistent, that when you are not having this conversation with you, it feels like there's something missing. You know, when you begin like a workout routine, or you start eating healthy, or you start some good habit, and then when you put something that's not as healthy in your body doesn't feel quite right. Or when you've been going to the gym, working out, running, doing, and then the day that you don't feel quite right. You want to make your inner dialogue with yourself so familiar, so good feeling, that in those moments that you don't do it, that feels strange. There's something that feels not quite right and feels off. And this all just takes practice. It's just consistency. It's showing up for yourself whenever you can. By creating that dialogue with yourself, you are building a self-loving, self-trusting, self-respecting, self-expressed love and life for you and with yourself. I love you too. I'm glad that this is working with you. Catherine, you thank God first thing in the morning. Me too, actually. So it's when I go to the mirror. So I always put my hand on my heart and I say thank you. I thank my heart beating heart, and I thank God for my life, for this moment, because not every moment is guaranteed. And then when I get to that mirror, whenever that is, I say, I love you. And as you all know, which we're about to do, I do my self hug. I want to invite you guys, I mentioned it in the beginning, but if any of this is resonating with you, join me on August 20th. I'm teaching a class that's called Create a Loving and Safe Inner World. And I'm going to share with you more exercises like this, but ways that you can create, nurture, and cultivate a relationship with you so that every single day, that no matter what is happening in the world or what challenges that you come through, um, I love that hug, Vinod, that you will feel good, that you'll feel loved, that you'll feel trusting, that those opportunities for you to take those risks in your life, those opportunities for you to surround yourself with good people, you will do, those opportunities for you where you say, should I make this choice or that choice? You're going to lean towards the one that feels good. And the reason why is because you are going to have cultivated a relationship with you that feels good. So I just put the link in the comments. I would love for you to join me. We're going to have some writing practices in there. It's an opportunity. I'm going to be teaching a lot of the things that I teach in my one-on-one coaching as well as in my 12-week course programs. I'm doing it at this point in time because I feel like we all need it. I feel like every single one of us at some point in our lives have felt that we don't trust ourselves or we're not worthy of love. Somebody says something to us that makes us feel like we've got to prove ourselves. And we have so much pain that often sits there that goes untapped, unhealed, unattended to. And this is just a beautiful way for you to begin. It's an opening, it's a dialogue, it's a way for you to reunite back with yourself and create a relationship with yourself that is one of love, of beauty, of compassion, of respect, of honor, all the ways that we show up for other people. This will teach us how to do that for ourselves. All right, guys, time for a little self-love and hug. Drink up, by the way. Do you have a drink in your cup? I hope so. Let me ask you guys a question. I've been wearing lots of wigs. I know this is totally random. But do you like me as a blonde? Do you like me as a brunette? Do you like me as a redhead? Or do you like me bald? That's what Ollie just said. He was like, we want you without the hair. And I'm only asking because, well, I'll reveal that later. So just curious about that. Hey guys, all right. So now time for a hug. Athen, sign up for the class. It's only $19 when you guys sign up for the webinar coming up on August 20th. I'm also going to send you a worksheet that shows you 10 ways to cultivate joy in your life. All right, so let's take your dominant hand, whichever one that is, your right or your left, and you want to place that under your other arm. And then you're going to take your hand that's left over and place that on your shoulder. And you guys, you are going to squeeze the beautiful soul that you are inside. You are going to squeeze the wounded, the pained, the one that's still calling out for healing. You are going to give yourself so much love right now because you so deserve it. We all need it. I need you guys to take an exhale because the only way that we are going to create a more loving world is by creating a more loving world within ourselves. That's why we show up in anger. That's why we show up as not our best selves when we all know that we're loved. It's because we have not cultivated that relationship within. And so squeeze the living love out of yourself. I want to thank you guys for being here with me today. I will be back, on Thursday, as always, for another story time with Shari. We will continue to read from here. I wanted to remind you guys also that I started a book discussion group around the book White Fragility. We are finishing up reading it this week, and then we are diving into how to be an anti-racist. So for any of you who want to be in a bigger conversation around racism and dismantling it, acknowledging that it exists and being a part of the change, I invite you to join us in this group as we dive into this next book. I love you all so very much. I will see you on Thursday, and I hope to see your registration for how to create a safe and loving inner world. Y'all, we're going to do this. Take good care. Remember to honor those feelings inside. They're just calling out for your love. Love you all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, Catherine. Bye, Vinod. Bye, Chrissy. Bye, Lori. Bye, Jack. Bye, Cassandra. Bye, Joyce. Okay, I'm not going to say everybody's name. Bye, guys.